The remasters are a love letter to the fans, and we see this as an opportunity to recreate and bring to life the memory they have of this game from when they were a kid. And it's been an amazing opportunity for us to bring these characters to life in new ways, bring this world to life as you can now with modern hardware. It's amazing. On the art side, I was really, it was important to me that they were appreciative of where we were taking things. So we went down and showed them early concept work that we were doing to make sure that our interpretation stayed true to their intent and their relationship to these characters. And they were delighted.
So just to add on to that, Insomniac isn't a part of this project formally, but we wanted to stay true to it. We wanted to go to the original source and make sure and check out that where we're taking it is in line with the intent, and we're making sure that we're being really respectful. So we reached out to a lot of the original developers and had conversations with them early on. We really want to honor that heritage, all that experience from the very beginning. And then there are questions like, Spyro was released 20 years ago, and it was on PS1, and there were no analog sticks. Camera controls were actually, by today's standards, really clunky to be moving around on the shoulder pads. So that was one of the first areas of focus, is control over camera, putting it back onto right analog stick. And then as we moved out from there, we start to look at other things, any quality of life things, like little tiny things that you may not even pay attention to. Like maybe there's a stone block that slides in and out. We wanted to put in a little bit extra detail just to indicate that that's the area that it has been trudging along for ages and ages. The most important thing they're hearing about fan reaction is get Spyro right. This is the original Spyro character, so we want to make sure we spend a ton of conversation, a lot of time with Insomniac, even internally, is just, did we actually get that original Skylander, that original Spyro back, and that it's a different character from the Spyro that you see in Skylanders. So that Spyro influenced a lot of that going into Skylanders, but these are completely different. We want to make sure that we're true to that original memory.
And speaking of fan favorites, Spyro had two different voices in games 1 and then in 2 and 3. And the clear fan favorite is Tom Kenny in games 2 and 3. So we've unified Spyro's voice in all 3 games, and we got Tom back to do the voices for Spyro in all 3 games in the trilogy.
And he sounds great.
Yeah, and we actually tried to work with as many of the original voice actors as we possibly could.
And I'm not sure if it was intentional, but we started with the toasty level. That was like a great place for us to feel out exactly how much is too much of us putting things in, how much is the right amount of lush, how much embellishment on the characters. Toasty is such a great level, such a great character. Just like the IP, the whole universe is just so fun. I mean, where else are you going to get a jaded sheep that's on stilts, dressed
Pumpkin
up as
head.
a scarecrow with a pumpkin head? So that was like amazing. If we could nail that tone, then that set it up for the rest of the game.
We definitely reached out to those guys, and they were really, in the same way that we are, just very respectful of the source. And I just think that's really important with remasters, as games are kind of left to consoles and people can't play them anymore. We want to retain those experiences and those memories that you had, and take advantage of what we can do graphically and with quality of life, with better control schemes to make these games feel modern and delight you in your senses with visuals and better sound, but retain the core of what made them timeless.
When I look at the Crash games, just paying attention to how well that was received, players care a lot about how it feels and how they remember the controls. And so that's where we spend a ton of time, is that there's a fluidity to Spyro in the way that he ran, the way that he jumped, and then how you glide into different landing spots. So paying attention to those details, no matter how small they are, mattered a lot to us. So we think that we got it right, and we're really excited to get this into hands for fans.